Hi guys, I hope you are doing well. Welcome back to another video. If you are wondering where I am right now, I am actually studying abroad this year in university, so you're not going to see my normal backdrop that you are used to. Basically, this summer I've overhauled, I would say, about 90% of my wardrobe with new pieces. I've been collecting for roughly 10 years, and I just thought it was time to really sell the majority of the stuff that I don't wear anymore. And I just want to have a wardrobe that has a lot of variety to it, but also has a lot of pieces that I get wear out of and can enjoy and use for years and years to come. Now, with that being said, what you're going to see on display is not a healthy amount of consumption, and I want to be really clear about that. It is an absurd amount of clothing, even though some of it was bought for really low prices in comparison to their market value. Overall, it's just a ton of money to be spending on clothing, and when I step back and think about the grand cost of everything together, I just want to say that please keep in the back of your mind that I sold 10 years of collecting clothing for the most part to afford this stuff, along with 2 jobs that I worked this summer. It's not like I just magically pulled this out and added it to an ongoing collection. With that being said, let's get into the video, and yeah. So for the first item I wanted to share, it's this pair of Visvim high-waisted trousers, or high-waisted chinos, in the damage processed iteration of that, in an olive colorway. This is from spring summer 22, and I have a size 4 right here, but you can basically see that they take this green chino and sort of wear it down to where it becomes almost like this olivey pastel sort of color. It looks very broken in, and then you have these sort of splotches of paint on it, which I believe are from a natural vegetable mix, maybe, to make that paint pigment. It has these metal peerless buttons that make up the fly, and yeah, I bought these on market for, I think, somewhere in the realm of like $300, and the only issue was that the previous owner took the hem out that makes them a bit cropped, and so I had to fix that, but other than that, they're pretty much brand new. So the other pair of pants to show off, which was definitely one of my biggest splurges this summer, is this pair of Fluxus 01 Slim in the Contrary Department iteration. So Contrary Depth is Visvim's take on military clothing, and if you know anything about these Fluxus, they are ridiculously expensive, and they really don't come up in the aftermarket for whatever reason. So at the end of the summer, I had waited and waited and waited, and I just could not seem to find them anywhere, and I knew I wanted to try the Fluxus, so I made the decision to splurge and pay retail, which is insane, but at the same time, I really don't see myself selling this pair of pants. About as basic as you can get with a pair of pants. They're a navy colorway, and I don't have any other navy pants, I guess, besides maybe darker denim, but it uses Visvim's signature G-cord fabric, which stands for German cord, and that's basically like a micro corduroy sort of fabric. And it, once again, like the other damaged chinos I have, has this sort of like dirt and paint on it that adds a lot of character to it. And the G-cords honestly add in such a unique property to the pants, because it really has this sort of garment dyed effect on it in the light, where the colors ebb and flow on it, and it sort of is uneven and just looks very well worn. And as for the fit on this pair, I chose to go with the 01 Slim after trying on the 03 cut at the Santa Fe store. It was just a little too tight on my thighs, so I went for a size 3 of the 01 Slim, and I have about like a 33-34 inch waist. And I also don't plan on getting these hemmed, because I wear them with my 2 boots. Even though I'm a 30-inch inseam, the extra pant sort of helps to fit over the boot and look nice and not like too cropped or something like that, if that makes sense. But yeah, definitely a big splurge to the summer. I think the other part that I'm justifying it with is that because they're so rare, I think if I ever did make the decision to sell them, I'd be able to recoup most of the value back for it. But I think Visvim is also just one of those companies where most of their clientele is buying a product at retail cost with the intention of like keeping it forever, and they don't really worry about resale the way that like a college student like myself might have to. So yeah, Visvim, Fluxus 01 Slim, G-Cords, Contrary Depth. So next up, I'm gonna talk about some t-shirts that I got recently. So on the note of white t-shirts, I actually went ahead and gave the Sublig tee a try from Visvim. This is like the jumbo cut iteration of it, so it fits like a typical Visvim jumbo tee, but this is the spring summer 23 iteration of it, and I would say it's a really low gauge cotton. It is loop wheel. I did ask at the store. In terms of fit, you will see that it's a lot more relaxed and drapey than my other loop wheel shirts are, and even more so maybe than some of my other jumbo tees. I think that part of that is because of the texture of the shirt. It definitely is a lot more low gauge cotton than the other tees I have from Visvim. So yeah, but in terms of like wearing it for spring summer, it's so lightweight and I really just like enjoy throwing it on. And I think with white t-shirts, the more you have the better, because they yellow at a slower rate. And so yeah, the next tee I have is this Crash jumbo tee from Indigo Camping Trailer. You can see the Kofu patch right there, but I believe this is from like 2020 maybe, and it's a size 4. Yeah, 2020. I believe it was part of the Find Your Happiness campaign, and this is probably my favorite t-shirt that Visvim's ever made. I would say, besides like maybe the basic Crash ones or whatnot. But this color blue is just so excellently faded to look like just a really well broken in vintage tee. And I love the Crash distressing on it. You have this hand stitch on the collar, as well as the distressing that you tend to get around the hem, the collar on any Visvim Crash tee. And then the fading itself on this jumbo tee is just excellent. It even feels like it has just been used constantly in a positive way, where it's just really well worn and broken in. And as you can see, it fits pretty true to size. I'm a size 4 in most Japanese clothing, so definitely go true to size. This was one of my souvenirs from my trip to Santa Fe, and I have to say I'm really happy that I got it. I just absolutely adore this shirt, and I'm so glad that it was just magically in stock still 3 years later. Lastly, we have another jumbo tee. This time it is a natural dyed jumbo tee. In terms of texture, it's pretty interesting because every single jumbo tee I own from Visvim feels a little different. This one is from Spring Summer 22. So I bought this from a friend who was selling it, and he's worn it a bit, I've worn it a bit, and you can see it's starting to get a little bit lighter in color. But I just love the irregularities on this. I even like stained it and tried to remove it, which made more irregularities, but I think it all looks great at the end of the day. This really actually does feel like it has mud or something in it. Like, it just feels very earthy when you touch it, if that makes sense. And that's even after washing it multiple times. It just sort of has this weird texture to it that definitely tells you that it's mud and not something else. Next, we have sweatshirts. So first up, I have this mud dyed ampless hoodie that is from maybe 2020 or 2021. It could be even older than that, honestly. 2021 fall winter. I got this from another friend who gave me a great bundle, and you can see that it's definitely been washed down from its original color and even has some stains on it. Or I don't even know if they're stains, they could just be like detergent splotches. I really have no idea, but I also don't really care. I got it for a great price. And for me, with the mud-dyed hoodies, I think that this stuff just adds character and overall makes it look like this really great sort of vintage, well broken in hoodie, which is what I'm going for with it. And in terms of sizing, with Amplus, I recommend going down a size to a 3, and Amplus SB, get a 4. It's just the fit of it. It'll be like huge on you if you don't do that. And I just really love the sort of like French terry, like towel texture you get on the inside of Amplus hoodies. So next up, we have one that comes from Bai, and that is the Barlow pullover fleece. Now this uses a wool pile fleece material, which is just ridiculous. Like, there are such few brands left that do that, and Visvim is one of them. And I would say Visvim probably does it better than any of the other brands for my taste. To get this, I actually sold my Capital fleeces because I think that I've worn them plenty and I'd like to have something new to wear. So I went ahead, sniped this off of Bai for like half off retail. I've never seen this price so low except on some Bai listings, and it's from fall winter 22 and it's a size 4. You can definitely go down a size. I've tried on the size 3 before and that fits more true to size, whereas this feels a lot more comfortable and sort of flowy. But as you can see on me, it really doesn't look oversized until I sort of stretch my arms out, and you can see how it just sort of like all the extra fabric that comes out. Favorite feature on this is definitely the pockets. I think that's just an excellent, perk to the fleece. And then you have these lovely, sort of rayon like patches, almost like they're not elbow patches, but they're these sort of like rayon bits on the sleeves, and as well as the front breast pocket. And the snaps here are all damage processed to look aged, which I just think adds to the beauty of this. And the inside also features entire, rayon lining. Overall, I think that this fleece is way better than Capital fleeces, Patagonia fleeces, because it's wool pile and it's rayon lined, which all in all should theoretically make it breathe a lot better in the winter than those other fleeces that are polyester. For me, I found my Capital fleeces to be very heavy and they're very well insulated, but insulated to a point where you might literally just pool with sweat because of how hot you get. And hopefully that's not the same outcome with this. I also think if you read the dissertation about wool on Visvim or watch Visvim Trading Post's video about the Barlow, for our last sweater, we have probably my favorite Visvim sweater ever, which would be this ICT Amplus crew neck in this insane indigo dye Boro patchwork. Just sort of insanity. I don't even know how to explain it, but like the Amplus hoodie, make sure and size down to a 3. There was a 4 on Grailed, which I'm glad I passed on because the 3 fits me perfectly. And as you can see, it has this crazy uneven sort of just like grandpa material to it, but it's knit in this way where the materials are so sort of like raw and unkempt. The sweater is a cotton linen blend that is naturally dyed with indigo. It does not bleed when you wash it, but it does have this amazing uneven sort of texture to it and visual appearance, and you can see all over it there are patches and holes, and it has been purposely almost like turned into a crash sweater, except with something that's actually knitwear and not like a hoodie. Now we are on to the shirting and jacket portion of this video. For the first shirt, I'm going to talk about this beautiful Frontier chambray striped shirt. At least I'm pretty sure that's what it is. but I bought this from Market and it was tagged a size 5, but upon receiving it, it didn't come with a tag on the inside, just the tag up here. And so I had my friend Matt, Visvim Trading Post, legit check it along with a couple other friends. And I mean, it checks out as being real, and the materials definitely feel up to par on it. And so what I've determined is that, you know, based on the side of it, it actually looks like it was tailored in a bit, and I'm thinking it was maybe a size 5 originally that was taken in. Also, generally Market is just really good at verifying the authenticity of items, but nonetheless I did email to try and get compensation, as they said it was basically brand new. They didn't really want to offer me anything. It's okay, I really love the way that it fits on me, and the cotton silk blend of it is honestly perfect. The best way that I could describe this is that it feels like a really well broken in like Brooks Brothers or Ralph Lauren shirt that you like steal out of your dad's closet. You have these beautiful cowbone buttons on it that make up the whole shirt, and I believe that the navy striping you see on here, or not even navy but more like just a dark muted blue, is naturally dyed. So all in all, I feel like I got a steal for this shirt, and I just can't wait to wear it more and more because it is ridiculously comfortable. The other shirt I got is a fan favorite, and that would be the lumber tweed from 2021 fall winter, and I bought a 4 in this. I know that usually people suggest sizing down. A, I couldn't find one in a 3, and B, it's meant to be more of a shacket than an actual shirt. So by going true to size, you get that effect a lot more than just a plain shirt. And I would say that it fits me like my Gariboo black elk flannel does. So this iteration is the darker one of the two. The 2022 version is a bit lighter in color, and you have this beautiful Kofu patch on the side of it and this lovely salmon lining on the inside of it. And the material itself is this wool, silk, and linen blend. I really don't know what more you could ask for from a tweed shirt. You're definitely getting your Sherlock Holmes on with it. It is a bit scratchy, I will say, but it's nice to have the rayon lining on the inside of it. And I think that it's one of those pieces that people will always want to have in the future. So for now, I'm gonna hold on to it until I can find a 3 in my size, and then maybe I'll consider going more true to size there. But I definitely don't want the lighter color. I think this looks a lot better. And I also don't like the black tweed as much either. For a vest, I have the Cora down vest from Spring Summer 2021 in this beautiful wool and linen edition. So it is a down feather filling. I went for a size 3 in this vest, as you should definitely not go true to size. You can definitely end up looking like the Michelin Man or something wearing this. I got to try on the 2021 blanket versions in the past, and even a size 3 of that looked huge on me. I think that this is a bit more flattering in this silhouette with these materials. I'm really not sure why. I think it's just less thick overall, but I got it for an amazing price where it was enough for me to justify buying it, seeing how it fit, and maybe flipping it in the future if I don't like the fit. But I think I'm gonna keep it for now because I do really like the cut of it and how it looks on me. I wish the blanket one fit this way because I think that's a bit more special, and you can either have, blankets out and it's really a statement piece, or just hidden and it's just very comfortable and cozy. The wool lining is incredibly soft on the inside of this, and I think both sides look amazing depending on which style you want to wear. Like any Visvim piece, it's just amazingly crafted in terms of quality. So if you have any qualms about this iteration, I think it's amazing. Definitely the best Cora down vest they made. I wish that I could say that about some of the blanket lined ones, but yeah, the fit is just not there. I believe that they maybe took off a button on current iterations and it looks a bit better there. The length is definitely what gets most people, but I think I can pull it off, hopefully, maybe, yeah. For my next piece, a little backstory on it. I saw it at the beginning of the year in a 4 and I got to try it on. Wasn't crazy about it because of the style, and eventually I just thought about it more and more and more and convinced myself to get it. So that would be the Strabbler down vest in this beautiful colorway from 2020 maybe? Yes, it is from fall winter 2021, and it is the green colorway with the quilted red interior. And I mean, even if you're not insane about the motorcycle aesthetic like me, I just think that this is one of the most creative and beautiful pieces that Visvim produces to this day. Between the mud overdye on it, the damage processing that creates this insane fading throughout the entire piece, and even down to the componentry, the leather componentry that has been hand distressed, it just makes a remarkable piece. You have Riri zips everywhere that have also been distressed by hand, and it looks like a relic of time that I just can't wait to wear. For our next piece, I have this beautiful green Douglas jacket from spring summer 23 in a size 4. With outerwear currently at Visvim, I would say you can go true to size 4 if it's ribbed and has, you know, elastic sleeves and whatnot, or size down to the size below for a true to size fit if it's not ribbed. But I absolutely adore this jacket. It's really not my thing normally, but it almost looks like a Saint Laurent teddy jacket. But what really sold me on this jacket is all of the product photos online show what the jacket will look like after time, and it gets this beautiful sort of faded yellowed patina on it the more you wear it. And I actually got to see this from a red iteration of the Douglas jacket that was in stock in the Santa Fe store and had been sitting in some sunlight. You can really see the sort of glow that it gets after a while. Yeah, the zipper is beautiful on this, and it's sort of that signature Visvim branded Riri zip that they put on a lot of their mid-layer jackets. And you just have 2 pockets here, and it doesn't have much of a shape when it's on the hanger because the material is so flimsy, but as you can see on body, it just sits beautifully. For our next jacket, we're gonna go into the denim category with this 101XX in the raw mud overdye iteration of it from spring summer 2023, I believe. And I bought a size 3 of it in general with 101XX, which is the dropped shoulder iteration of Visvim's 101 or type 2 denim jackets. Size down, it'll fit you perfectly. And I find that this fit is a lot more comfortable and roomy than the 101 cut, which is why most people prefer this. And so yeah, there's this just beautiful mud overdye to it that sort of literally looks like hella crusty and muddy in different parts of the jacket. And like the zippers, for example, really need to be broken in on it because they are just so crusty to move up and down since there's literally mud in it still. Opening up the pockets on it, I literally was pulling mud out of it. And you can see that it is red line selvage throughout the whole jacket. And I actually sold the rest of my denim jackets and just bought this, and I plan on wearing it, breaking it in, breaking it down. And part of me would like to get another 101XX that is not raw and is already broken in, because like you have to worry about indigo bleed and just like, you know, sort of all the perils of raw denim. And so I definitely think maybe at some point in the future I'll get either a one wash version of it that's damage processed, or like a dry PK version of it, or dry peak, however you say it, but I really just like the way that the silhouette fits me. I would say that the 101XX IT is probably like one of my grails. I will say about the mud overdyed denim that Visvim does, I really enjoy that because I think a lot of the outerwear that you buy that is mud overdyed, it's very difficult to see the mud aside from the sort of uneven texture it gives. But being able to see it really show up on the jacket just gives it even more of a unique property than like a normal type 2 raw denim jacket. So if you are like me and you tend to wear a size 4, sometimes a size 5, larger sizes in Visvim, you know how much this piece means to me, how hard it is to get, and I'm just so thankful to have it and to get to wear it for the rest of my life and pass it down. So I have the Visvim 101 IT in this beautiful tan suede colorway from 2018. I believe it is fall winter 2018, and this was, I think, the last year that they made the IT before it sort of became what it is today, which is like $8,000 or $9,000 and even more unobtainable. But this thing retailed for like around $5,000 or $6,000, and obviously I did not pay that. But what makes it so special is that it is a size 5 in almost brand new condition, I would say. That is just kind of insane to stumble across in 2023, 5 years later, because if you know anything about the 101 jackets from Visvim, these are not drop shoulder like the 101XX, which often creates sort of a pinch in your armpit if you go true to size, at least for the bigger sizes. I know personally a size 4 in the 101 is not comfortable, so to be able to find a size 5 in this was really a feat, and it's made out of a gorgeous goat suede that's complemented by 2 beautiful re-zip hidden pockets on the sides, a beautiful indigo dyed back patch here made out of goat. And yeah, I think my favorite detail on these, besides the re-zips, are these small conchos that are on each side of each sleeve of the jacket. And the goat suede is just so incredibly thin, supple, soft. It really has such a unique effect to it compared to like calf skin, calf suede, which can be coarse sometimes, not necessarily the smoothest, but this is just thin and silky smooth. You can see it really doesn't have a great shape just hanging on a hanger because of how thin it is, but I'm just so happy to have this in my collection and to see how it wears down over time. I definitely intend to be somewhat careful with it, as it is one of my more expensive pieces that I own, but I'm also extremely excited at the prospect of wearing it over and over again and really breaking it in and making it mine. If you saw Visvim Trading Post's most recent video, you can see an IT varsity jacket from 2012 and how beautifully broken it is, and I really hope that I can recreate that effect with my jacket here. For my next piece, I have potentially the most coveted item in this entire haul, besides maybe my 101 IT, but this was honestly an impulse purchase, and it just sort of fell into my lap, and it was the right place, the right time, and I really couldn't pass it up. But it is not coveted due to it being limited, but that John Mayer wore it, and I guess anything that John Mayer wears just becomes gold in the Visvim community. And then it's also one of the few mud overdyed jackets as well in this silhouette. And what I would be talking about is the pink 2019 Iris liner. And to give you some context, this is a size 5 in virtually brand new condition that I saw pop up on Grailed for a steal of a price. I'm talking maybe $1,500. If you know anything about these jackets, a 3 will sell for like $2,500, if not $3,000. So a 5 is basically a unicorn. And I think there were maybe 200 in total of the different colorways made. So you can assume that there's maybe like single digits of size 5s floating around. You have this beautiful nylon shell to it with a rayon lining, and it just has the most incredible uneven sort of dyeing to it from the mud dye, where it really just looks different in every sense of lighting. It does not look pink. It looks like a very muted peach, I would almost say, in person. And then on top of that, you have beautiful herringbone accents throughout it that complement the piece. A damage processed Riri zip that's fully reversible, and of course the piece reverses into the side that is so infamous in the Visvim community. When I saw it ungrailed, I messaged the seller instantly, and he happened to be located in New York City. So I was actually able to meet up with him and buy it for $1,000, which sounds insane for a jacket, but if you know anything about this jacket, that is like a third of its potential market value. So I had to buy it just because even if I don't end up keeping it, it's a flip that will help me buy other stuff. And I think I will probably keep it because I think it fits me perfectly. It looks great on me, and it's really a color that I don't have in my wardrobe. I think that part of me feels like it's a very hyped piece, and it's sort of overhyped to a certain extent, but I think that offsets itself with the fact that I paid just about retail for it, actually, Japanese retail, which was like $700 or $800 at the time. And I'm very lucky to have this in my collection because I know that this is a grail for many people, and the fact that I just ended up with it by pure coincidence is amazing. So for our final jacket, this was teased in the previous video, but it is a kerchief down jacket in a Kofu iteration from 2021. And this, once again, was just right place, right time. Josed had one hiding in the back of the stock room in Santa Fe, and on my visit I knew I really wanted to get a down jacket for the winter, as I actually don't own one. And what I've never liked about kerchiefs is that the hardware is always just like this golden brass color, and the 2021 iteration of it actually uses a silver hardware instead, and so you have beautiful damage processing on it, along with Japanese Kofu all over. And I think I got an incredible panel as well, which is why I'm shocked this didn't sell already. I have a crane, I believe, on the back here, as well as just hits of orange all over the jacket, which just is so beautiful to look at. It's really a work of art. I think that the Kofu pattern edition isn't for everyone, but it's something that will age and fade so nicely with years to come, and is really like one of those pieces that Visvim makes that is so special and unique to the brand, and uses the highest quality in every sense of the word. And I did get this at the 2021 price for retail, which is literally like $200 or $300 cheaper retail cost than the current editions of it, because if you buy the bandana version, those vintage bandanas are in short supply, and so the price raises every year on that, as does Japanese Kofu raise in price every year because it becomes more and more limited to buy. And on the inside of it, you have this amazing recreation of the Battle of Little Bighorn that's been colored in with natural dyes such as mud, cochineal, and indigo. So if you've watched my channel or other Visvim channels, you probably are familiar with all of those terminologies, and you know that this jacket really just has gotten the full works in terms of, you know, the cost, the effort to make it. I mean, hand stenciling, coloring something in like that takes hours upon hours, and just the meticulous nature of this jacket really makes it such a just amazing museum piece that I will definitely idolize for years to come, and I hope to keep it just as long as any of my other pieces, which is a lifetime. I think I've really graduated from someone that buys for like the short-term enjoyment of something, and instead now I just really want to keep stuff and just have it with me and slowly accumulate a collection of really sort of personal garments over time that fit me beautifully, that have excellent stories and backgrounds to them, and just are, you know, at the end of the day, pleasing to look at. One thing I will say about the kerchief jacket and my decision making to buy this was that I tried on the 101 XX down jacket in the Kofu pattern, which was also at Santa Fe, and I think I tried that on in a 3 as well. That's another thing, size down. It's outerwear, so you want to size down, and miraculously I got the last 3 of this that wasn't even on the website, but I found that the 101XX created a really sort of puffy marshmallow fit on me, and the kerchief is a lot more flattering and sort of slendering, and overall I think that there's a use for both of them. The biggest sacrifice with the kerchief is that there are no side pockets, but as Josette suggested to me, you know, wear like a hoodie underneath it if you want pockets, or, you know, like a sweater, something that has pockets in it. I really don't think it's that big of a deal. The 101XX does have side pockets on it, which also adds like a ton of money to the price because they're re-zip side pockets, and yeah, it's just a whole thing. But if you enjoyed the video, let me know what your favorite piece was down below, and yeah, thank you so much for watching.